There are 4 cards on the table. 2 decks, A and B, pay well. Every card hands you $100. 2 decks, C and D, pay less, just $50 a card. The smart move seems obvious. Pick A and B. Bigger money every time. That's the whole game, right? Wrong. Decks A and B are a trap. They pay big at first, but hidden inside them are huge losses that show up later. Big enough to wipe out everything you want. Just like a hot stock or a big risky bet can wipe out months of profit in one bad move. Decks C and D look boring. Smaller wins, smaller losses. But over time, they're the ones that actually make you richer.
This isn't really about cards. It's about money. Why some people build wealth slowly and safely, while others chase the big win and lose it all. And it uncovered something surprising. The part of you that decides how to handle risk with money isn't your thinking mind, it's your gut. 1994, University of Iowa. 2 scientists, Antoine Bechara and Antonio Damasio, wanted to answer a question every investor, gambler, and everyday spender deals. How do we make money choices before we even know the odds? They tested 2 groups on the card. One group made decisions normal. The other group had damage to a part of the brain right behind the forehead, the exact spot linked to weighing risk and reward.
While people played, sensors picked up something invisible, a tiny stress reaction in their skin, like the feeling right before a risky bet. By card 40, the normal player's body started reacting. A small spike of stress right before their hand reached for a bad deck. This happened before they could even explain why. Their gut sensed the danger before their mind had finished thinking it through. The other group never got that warning. They kept reaching for the flashy, high-paying decks again and again, losing money even after they could say out loud, C and D are safer. They understood the number. They just never felt the danger.
Knowing the odds and feeling the odds turned out to be 2 completely different things. And that gap explains a lot of bad money habits in real life. So how does this work? Damasio's answer? Your gut feelings aren't the enemy of smart money decisions. They're actually one of the tools that make good decisions possible. Here's the idea. Every time a money choice pays off or blows up, your brain doesn't just remember the number. It attaches a feeling to it. A knot in the stomach after a bad trade. A flicker of unease before a big bet. The next time a similar choice comes up, that feeling shows up before you've even finished thinking. It quietly pulls you away from choices that hurt you before, without you ever noticing why. Damage that part of the brain, and people don't get any less smart, but that early warning feeling goes quiet. They can still work out the numbers on paper. They just never feel the danger in their gut. And in real life, that's exactly the kind of person who keeps doubling down after every loss. There's an older money idea behind all this, from an economist named Frank Knight back in 1921. He pointed out that there's a difference between risk and not knowing. Risk means you know the odds, like a casino game with fixed rules. Not knowing means you don't even know the odds yet, like a brand new investment or a market nobody's seen before. This card game is built entirely on not knowing. Every early choice is a blind guess, feeling out something new with zero history. So this isn't just testing who's greedy and who's careful. It's testing how fast someone can turn, I have no idea what's going on, into, okay, now I see the pattern, which is exactly the skill that separates a smart long-term investor from someone who gets wiped out. Later, scientists explain this with a simple idea. The brain learns like a system that keeps score. Here's how. Each deck has a hidden value in your mind, like a guess at how good a stock will be. Every time you flip a card, your brain slightly adjusts that guess based on whether the result beat or missed what you expect. In plain words, what you expected plus how wrong you were equals your new expectation for next time. In people with damage to that decision-making area, the losses matter dial barely moves. Their brain is still keeping score, it's still learning, but losing money just stops carrying any real weight, which is exactly why some people keep chasing losses long after everyone else would have walked away. Physically, a lot of this comes down to one spot in the brain, right behind the eyes, next to the area damaged in Bechara's patients. Researcher Edmund Rolls studied this area for years and found it works like a price tag that's always being rewritten, constantly updating how good something looks the second new information comes in. This changes how we should think about the whole game. That part of the brain isn't a simple alarm bell. It's more like a pricing desk, constantly repricing risk in real time. Damage it, and a person keeps acting on old information long after the market, or the deck, has clearly changed. Underneath all of this is one chemical, dopamine. In the 1990s, scientist Wolfram Schultz studied dopamine cells and found something surprising. They don't fire just because you made money. They fire based on how surprising the result was. In other words, it's not about the reward itself. It's about the gap between what you expected and what actually happened. An unexpected win, a burst of activity. A fully expected win, barely any reaction, because there was nothing new to learn. An expected win that doesn't show up, a dip. the brain's own version of disappointment. This chemical is what quietly reprices every bet, every investment, after each single result. One more piece of the puzzle. A part of the brain tied closely to the body. Researchers Kirsten Proishoff and Peter Bosserts at California Institute of Technology found this area doesn't care whether an outcome turns out good or bad. It reacts purely to how risky or unsure a decision feels, no matter which way it goes. This is the part that turns pure money risk into a physical feeling. The knot in your stomach before a big trade, the unease before an all-in bet. It's the same feeling Damasio pointed to decades before scientists had the tools to actually watch it happen. 4 cards on a table, that's all it looks like. But hidden inside that simple bet is a brain constantly repricing risk, a chemical keeping score of every surprise, and a gut feeling doing more of the financial thinking than most people ever give it credit for. The people who build real wealth aren't always the smartest with numbers. They're the ones whose gut and mind finally agree and learn, faster than everyone else, which bets are actually worth taking.